Hey everybody, this is LaShonda Lee, CEO and founder of Walk in Favor Life Coaching and Jewels of Success Suite. And I'm truly excited to be with you right now because this month, February, we consider to be the month of love, right? And so Walk in Favor is going to present to you a fabulous webinar called Love That Lasts. It is going to be February the 27th at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me ask you a question. Are you currently in a relationship right now? Or are you in a relationship where it's not going anywhere? Have you just recently dissolved a relationship? Or are you preparing to be in a relationship? Listen, whether you say yes or no to those questions, this webinar is for you because you know what? At the end of the day, we've all been in some type of relationship, right? Some of those relationships, first we were friends and then it turned romantic, or some, they just started out romantic, right? Some were intense, whereas others may have been boring. Some, there was an immediate connection, whereas others first started off feeling awkward. You know, I can go on and on about our relationship woes, but at the end of the day, we all tend to try to find that person that meets the vision of what we believe a long-lasting relationship looks like. A relationship that is fulfilling, a relationship that is lasting, a relationship that hopefully will last forever, right? But I gotta say this. We've all probably been in relationships that have failed, whether it was a marriage or whether it was just a relationship. Now, one thing we know for sure, in that relationship, we kind of learn what we want and what we don't want in a relationship, right? But here's the thing, we had to accept the fact that we didn't have that soulful connection to make that relationship last. And at the end of the day, if we can't give it our all, then the other party suffers, right? And if that person can't give us their all, then we suffer. You know, I've spoken to a lot of people and they justify why staying in relationships that do not emotionally serve them. They may say, well, you know what, he's a good person. Have you ever said that? Or he might say, well, she's a good mother. But here's the thing, whether he's a good person or she's a good mother, at the end of the day, they're still neglecting what they truly desire in a long-term lasting relationship. And again, just because a person is good doesn't mean that they are a good fit for you. And often we don't give ourselves permission to dissolve a relationship that is not serving us emotionally, mentally, physically, or whatever the case may be, right? And here's the thing, when we can't give fully into the relationship, then at the end of the day, the other person suffers and we suffers as well. And so when was the last time you honestly wrote what you desire in a relationship? And I want you to ask yourself, is your current relationship meeting those standards? Is your current relationship meeting those desires? Now listen, I am totally not advocating get out of your relationship. All I'm saying is that there may need to be some changes to take place so that you can be served how you need to be in that relationship, and also how you can serve how you need to serve in that relationship. You know, have you written out the expectations of what you're willing to give in that relationship? And here's the thing, are you meeting those expectations? Because love is a give or take. It is an attitude that says, I want what's best for my partner. I want what's best for my spouse. I look after the well-being of the one I'm in a relationship with, right? So love is just not about that fuzzy feeling. It is an attitude that causes us to act upon that attitude. Because here's the thing, I truly believe that if two people, if two people commit to building a life together simply because they want to, they absolutely want to, they're not forced to, they're not coerced, they're not looking, well, if I don't get this person, somebody else will, but because they absolutely want to, then guess what? If those two people commit because they want to, then they have every reason to make that relationship good. They have every reason and motivation to make their lives good for one another. And so therefore, I'm truly excited to be able to share with you our webinar, and I'm hoping that you will register and participate, because guess what? We'd like to hear from you. Again, the webinar is called Love That Lasts. And in this webinar, we want to identify questions you should really be asking yourself if you want a deep and lasting, loving relationship. You know, it's not just about asking your potential partner questions, but it's honestly about asking yourself, because when you can get into the core of what you want in a relationship, then it will tell you what you are willing to accept, what you will not accept. It will give you the path and direction that you need to travel. We're going to literally discuss this thing called love and being in love. I hear that so much. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What does that really mean? We want to talk about that. We want to be honest and open about that. We want to see what your understanding is about that. Is it valid? We also, in this webinar, we're going to discuss the do's and don'ts of creating a love that lasts. You know, there are certain things that you should do and some things that you absolutely should not do if you want that long, fulfilling, rewarding relationship that lasts. Also, we want to talk about how you should prepare yourself for love. Listen, we prepare ourselves for jobs. We prepare ourselves for school. We prepare ourselves for a lot of things. Why not prepare ourselves for a relationship that could literally be the best relationship of our lives? The most important relationship of our lives. Why not prepare ourselves? And so we want to talk about that in the webinar, how to literally prepare ourselves, because again, we want to be prepared in what it is that we are going into. We want to know what to expect and what not to expect. And then another thing, who's responsible for making you happy? Is it you or is it your partner? See, that's something that we want to talk about, because a lot of times we put our happiness off on someone else, and when they don't meet those particular expectations, then we feel that there's a problem. So when it comes to happiness, who really is responsible for making you happy? And then you know what? I love this right here. You know, we've heard a lot about the 5 love languages. I know I've heard a lot of it. You can go on their website. You know, there's a book out about it. But listen, I want us on this webinar to really examine the concept of the love languages and see, is it valid? Is it valid for just marriages? Is it valid for just some relationships and not other? Is it valid for you? Have you ever heard of it? And so these are just a few things that we want to tackle in this webinar called Love That Lasts. And I'm truly excited about our special guest that is going to be with us. Her name is Miss Tamiko Jenkins. And she will guide us, right? She will guide us into a transformation conversation on relationship issues faced by the woman today, right? She's known as the Happily Ever After therapist. And so Tamiko will offer an honest chat and practical tips, as well as solutions for the whole woman, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Tamiko received her BA from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte and a Master's of Social Work from the University of Georgia. She is absolutely passionate about women's empowerment and women's issues. She has over 10 years of experience, and she is happily married to her life partner, Cavell, and she is the mommy of 4 brilliant souls, Donovan, Bryson, Nyla, and Charlotte. And so listen, go to the website, let me just go to the link, bit.ly, bit.ly, Love That Lasts 17. All right? Register at bit.ly/love that lasts 17. I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. It is going to be a virtual platform, so we're going to have a lot of engagement. I'm going to see you. You're going to see our special guest. She's going to see you. We're going to open up the chat box so that you can type in your questions and your comments. We're going to have Q&A so that you can ask specific questions. And guess what? It's going to be ladies only. So it's going to be a sterile, safe environment for you to just express yourself about love so that we can get this thing right in 2017. Even if that means waiting on the relationship that is right for you, not forcing it, but waiting. And while you wait, prepare for the one that is meant for you. So listen, I wish you love. I wish you love that lasts forever. And so listen, join us on the webinar February the 27th. Register today at bit.ly/LoveThatLasts17. I look forward to seeing you all. Have an incredible day. Bye now.